We had been working deep half guard reversals, so pretty simple, nothing crazy. Let's see if we can get 3 deep on the chain. So the first one just be a warm up, and then if you weren't here, the first one's really simple. It's the most basic one. It's you just come in deep half guard. 3 things you're trying to pay attention to is if you can drag this ACL by the furthest point of the fulcrum, so ankle to ankle if you can. Really good bite on the hip line so that I'm pulling him over. And lastly, I'm trying to make some form of a Y wedge underneath this position of this leg. So as I'm pulling on this ACL, I'm yanking, pulling at this hip. I'm seeing if I can touch this hip. Seeing if I can get underneath the kneecap. If I can, I suck myself to him so that I can come underneath him. So as I start pulling myself with my bottom leg, I strip myself underneath. As we landed, we said we try to capture a couple of things. I don't want him to rotate, so my headline is trying to block this shoulder. Now when I land, my next thing is I want to just block these kneecaps. So as we're landing, I'm stepping over to mount him. When I mount him, I'm going to have my arm stuck. So I need to get as far up on this side as possible so that I can pull this arm out. My next goal is to see if I can grab his head and control his jawline, because now I can control the pivots of his hip lines. So when I run up, I try to control his head. I base my hand high and I drive up to release my hand. Once I do, I hook back onto his hip lines and I lower. It's only a drill. You can do it very slowly. Try your best not to get yourself over too high to this side. You will get reversed. So start making this vertical climb. As soon as you get his bicep to his elbow, you drop your head position. Collect your hands. Don't lift your heads. Don't lift your hip lines off of them. Semi-moon out. Make a wedge under his hips. Butterfly. Cock the back leg and drive up into the artery. Let's part up and do it. 1, 2, 3. So that's how we started last week. And now we get a little bit further in the chain that when I reverse them, like, they're not going to accept the reversal. They're not going to accept you mounting them. And then they're going to fight. And then when they fight, they're going to come to turtle, right? So I got to be prepared to take him down from turtle. But there's a lot of things that I'm reading when he comes over. So we had done this in the last one. So we're going to change the pattern, and then we'll double back to the pattern on Wednesday. That's what I mean by it. I've done everything right. Like, I've come to this point, but I bring Ethan over, and I was like this. And the last class, he starts coming up, and he's getting away from me, so I grabbed onto his ankle, and then I ripped him out this way. I dropped my shoulder line so that I can keep pushing him, and I suck his heel to his other kneecap. So we landed like this. Then I told you to have some vision ahead of the next step, because that's what separates the really good from the exceptional, the great, because they understand the move after it starts, and they understand it like two or three sequences deep. And the greats like Hoffa Mendes understand it 5 to 6 sequences deep. So when you landed, I said to you to do 2 things. 1 massive step and hold the control of the rear tricep. They're the most critical things on the land, right? So when you brought them over, as I brought them over and Nathan was turning, I'm already going, oh man, I can't get over this hip. So I'm dropping my shoulder. So my 2 positions now, when I'm driving him, I'm gonna get his hip to fall. As I land, let's talk about where my hand positions are. My hand position was in here, inside that pit. Next, because I couldn't get high enough on top of the quad lines, I'm going to be late on my insertions. But I can control his ankle every single time. I missed the kneecaps, so when I pulled him out, I told you to have vision of where this ends up. So I was like this. So I have 1 big step that lands right about parallel with his shoulder lines, and my drive of my back of my head position will be behind his deltoid, because I don't mind if he comes this way. How he recovers is to reface me. So when I'm landing like this, I said 1 big step, watch my left ear. As I land him, I'm like this, I'm here driving my ear into the back of that tricep because I don't want to lose the position. Now I'm behind him. We said in the last class, he might turn this way, but I don't mind. What I want to pay attention to is how he recovers, to recover, knee, elbow, escaping to get into the position. I don't want to lose the rear tricep. So I'm driving the position, but he pulls back. Or how we said in the last class, I take it to him. I go to him. I'm not waiting for him. So when we landed like this, I drop my shoulder to the side so that I can recapture the armpit. Now when I drive him, I'm able to put him back on the mat and now finish the choke this way again. So in the last class, this is where we're going to take it because we'll double back to that position. In the last class, I had vision and insight. Z, could I have you do it so I can stand on top and explain it? Eighth, can he do it to you? Right? You know what I'm talking about. The one that, yeah. So you're like this, and now Zeke brings him over like this, right? He's like the Ethan's already coming up. And now stay right there for me. Zeke now, if he's 6'3", that kneecap's gonna be like out here. So he's gotta pivot himself. Watch him start pivoting himself. So stay right there. As he's pivoting himself, okay, he's got vision also. He sees it 3 steps deep. He's gonna hunt this arm right now, right? So when he lands him, right, now the problem is that this is what differentiates you being really, really, really good at BJJ, because you hit this gray area. Are you gonna go that way? In competition, if we sat down after the fact and then you said to me, Coach, what did I do wrong? I said, you picked wrong. You went down rabbit hole 1 when you should have come this way, because if your tilt was so much this way, you know the distance you're going to have to carry on a big play to come back this way? If he's a good player, he's already dropped his elbow line. Yeah, I know, because you picked the wrong path. So now when he pulls him out on this angle, watch where he's going to clear this head with that back leg. He's right underneath the arm. And now he's going to fall right back into an arm bar and attack this arm. Let's do it again. So you see it in slow motion. This time I won't pause it. We'll go super slow. Right? He's on a deep half guard reversal. He's here fighting for the position. He's bringing him over. And as he lands, Ethan's coming up. He's ripping that back ankle. He's already clearing over the sides. Already got the arm. Right? So now he has to understand that now your job is, which is the gray area. So let your partner come up to turtle. So in the move, let him come up to turtle. Eighth, go to turtle for me. Right? Let him come up to turtle. And then start understanding the mechanics of the move. So when you bring him over for me, stay right there for me, right? If you drive him this way, this base, so if he never got the hand in, he's got to suck this ankle so tight to him, and that's where the fall happens. So when he drives this shoulder, he's already clearing him to the back step. Clear him. And now he's on that arm again. The only thing I had a gripe on that one was he pulled this arm out. I don't know if everybody saw it. He pulled that arm up to here. That arm stays there the whole time. So if you have like that, do it again, and no arm comes out. You do not back out of that pocket at all. So now you start to see it's like, yeah, I had some step it. Yeah, he's already underneath that armpit. That armpit's everything, right? Even in like every single thing that we did, whether it was the first reversal, second reversal, bringing him over, was a control of the rear deltoid and the armpit. So why would you, so Zeke now knows, and he does it. He just did it. He always does it well. When he stepped over, you don't want to let go of this. This is the real estate that you were trying to command. So have some vision on it now, right? So when you suck him out, if your angle, because he was so big, was eighth, go to turtle, was you had to turn this way to come, then your step over was here to attack that arm, right? So have a little bit of play the story in your head and how you got to play it out, because it's a fascinating game. And then those are the areas you're like, you went the wrong way, and now you step over, and now you're too late coming back the other way. So play it slow. We're going to drill it today, and then we'll drill it again on Wednesday, and we'll mix the pairs up so that you can start to see how the game changes in just like little drops. Okay, guys, let's partner up and do it. What do we do? Short that kneecap. So when you go back one step, when you step that over, that kneecap should land right here, because then, I say about deeper in the chain, you got to stop the exit of that elbow to slow the game down. And then it's just so many reasons why. It's like, I can give you 8 freaking reasons why the kneecap needed to be in the center sternum. So do it again, right? Because he pulls him out. Now this guy's so big and jacked, and now you spun it on here. And now if Sammy were to, let's say, fight the turtle, he's going to pivot on the back step off this kneecap. and now hunt that quadrant or flip it to this quadrant, but he's going to be short on so many different transitions if that kneecap's not right, right? So when you land it, it's not by his ear. You're landing at center sternum because you're going to play the game. You don't know how the game's going to play. Everything that I just described, this guy's 50 pounds bigger. I had to change my angle so drastically to bring him down. Like, this guy's going to stay here now. He's going to fight. He's going to fight the turn, all these things. You know, I got to be ready to follow because, you know, sometimes when I say is like, you should have nightmares when you lose your man positionally. Forget about submissions. Like, just positionally, you lost him. And you lost him positionally because of you weren't prepared to follow him, and you didn't have some, just now, like, so if we have vision of where the kneecap needs to be, then we'll be able to follow him efficiently to the next sector. Okay, guys? We got about a minute before we go live. You want to grab water, caffeine, anything. Let's do it.